Approval of the March 3rd, 2026 meeting agenda. Staff, anything on the agenda to make note of?
No.
Okay, council, you guys good?
Sorry.
Yes.
Is that the wrong part? I do have an adjustment for tonight. It's to other business item 11A, the voucher request pending approval for disbursement. The council has emailed the report earlier, and there's a printed copy tonight if anyone wants to view it. So that is my one addition for the agenda for tonight. Thank you.
You were testing me. Okay.
I was thinking you meant consent, and I was just getting ahead of myself. So
that's all right. I do it all the time. Councilmember Parisian, did you have something?
Yes, a quick question, a procedural question on consent agenda item 6B. I just want to confirm that the goals and priorities session agenda item is simply to approve the session minutes and not the actual goals and priorities, correct? Because all I had attached was the session minutes.
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Parisian, that's spot on. Okay. Just as a placeholder, the intention is to get the minutes approved tonight. At an upcoming work session and meeting, you'll formally approve the actual item.
Perfect. Just wanted to confirm. That's my only question. Thank you. If there are no other questions, then I will make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no or nay. All right. Tonight's agenda has been approved. Next is the consent agenda. So pursuant to council rules, one motion, non-debatable, will approve the recommendation noted. Any member of the council may ask for an item to be taken from the consent agenda for discussion and separate action. Such items removed from the consent agenda shall be considered immediately following the approval of the balance of the consent agenda. Staff, anything with the consent agenda?
not this time.
Okay, double check. Council, anything on the consent agenda you'd like to address?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to pull item I, purchase of police patrol vehicles.
Item I, purchase of police vehicles. Councilmember Blackledge.
I was also going to suggest item I, so I think we're good.
Okay, item I. Excellent. All right. Any other things to pull?
Hearing none, I move that we approve the balance of the consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Okay, so consent agenda has been approved, and why don't I go through what we approved, and then we'll talk about item I. Does that work? Okay. So we approved the City Council meeting minutes from February 17th, 2026. We approved top goals and priorities session from February 26, 2026. Approval of credit card charges and payments for January 2026. We approved the Deputy Registrar's monthly financial statements. We approved Robbinsdale's Wine and Spirits monthly financial statements. By the way, it was a great month. We approved the submission of an expedited conservation project grant application. We approved licenses. We authorized staff to credit a resident for utility billing. Thank you for that. We approved we haven't gotten there yet. We approved the Violent Crime Reduction Task Force. And now we're going to move on to item I, purchase of police patrol vehicles.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I pulled this item. So this item is for part of our 2026 capital equipment budget, which is for $500,000. And noting that this is a sizable item, just under $277,000 that we're being asked to approve. Today alone, I've received quite a few emails from Ward 3 residents about this item, and I wanted to say thank you to staff for providing that additional information earlier this evening. And I was hoping that to address some of those questions, if staff would be willing to give an overview of that additional information that you've prepared for council. And then I may have some additional questions after that, if that's okay with the council as well.
Yes.
Sure. Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Parisian, to your note, yeah, we did prepare some additional materials, and we'd be happy to put this out if people were of interest. As you noted, I'll kind of start at a high level and then get into some of the specifics, but as you noted, what's being asked of you here tonight is a part of your previously approved capital improvement plan. For those not familiar, this is a layout of everything from rolling stock to facilities that the city maintains specific to rolling stock, including vehicles. Last year, staff went through a process evaluating essentially the next 15 years of vehicles, and that may include everything from the lawnmower that cuts the grass at the park up to our biggest dump truck or plow, in many vehicles in between, including these that we're talking about here tonight. Included in that, as we go forward, we try to spread out and consider a number of things, spread out to even the expenditure, the costs generally to the city, but also want to be most efficient with the tax dollars best we can, considering overall life of the vehicles. And that includes everything from when we acquire the vehicle to maintenance throughout ownership, and then ultimately resale. You can see those going forward here, or that we're proposing to go forward here, have hit a variety of marks. The memo does highlight a number of things, but we try to summarize what we gave to council in a handful of FAQs, starting with why not purchase cheaper vehicles. Again, we try to strike that best area where we can find a vehicle that does not incur more costs over time. Under severe patrol use, lighter duty vehicles, often experience increased mechanical failures, shorter service lives, and these give us greater durability and ultimately higher resale value, again, with promoting the efficient use of tax dollars. Why not fewer vehicles? The department does not maintain spare squads, so a situation that we're in right now, for example, when vehicles are down for repair, patrol coverage can be immediately reduced. During a recent critical incident, we were down 2 working squads, and sometimes the logistics of just ordering parts and the mechanics work to get things done puts us behind schedule, and again, can result in, seems dramatic, but response times can be affected by that. Similarly, why not continuous repairing a current fleet? Again, wear and tear, and we do call out, sometimes the mileage on these vehicles do look a little bit different. If you think about personal use versus the type of use that these are used for, they do see a higher amount of wear and tear at an accelerated rate. So driven quicker and stopped quicker more often, wear and tear through the electronics and other mechanisms just wear out those systems at a quicker rate. So sometimes it's thinking about not just by way of miles, but by hours used. Again, specific to the Tahoe, they do come with a greater cargo capacity. As we continue to ask our patrol to carry more equipment with them to be able to respond to more types of situations, we just need to get more equipment in these vehicles. These vehicles are coming off of sort of a unique trial of a lease period. This was something my predecessor and the current finance director's predecessor took on. It was in part response to, if you remember, the supply chain issues immediately coming out of COVID. It gave us some reassurance for quicker acquiring of vehicles. There was a lot of uncertainty in some of these types of programs, had things readily available. Unfortunately, that came with less control over the vehicles, and ultimately leasing can limit long-term equity, especially in that resale recovery. And then ultimately, when we talk about liability, maintaining adequate, reliable patrol vehicles certainly ensures timely emergency response. Those, people in the moment calling 911 want people there quickly, and we want to be there as well. We also want to be sure that we avoid unreliable components within that might increase exposure related to delayed response, equipment failure, or officer injury. So those are some high levels. If there are specific questions, staff would be happy to further respond.
Thank you. Yes, I think given the volume of questions that I've received just today about this, it was really important to have a lot of that added context. And I think to summarize, the theme of some of those questions were why at this cost, like this is a significant amount of money, it's important to acknowledge that that capital equipment budget has been allocated for these vehicles. Also, why 5 vehicles and why right now? And I think an important piece of that is the lease that happened in 2022 that you spoke about. And I do recall that at that time, the market of vehicles, at that time, vehicles were quite expensive. So I can understand the previous council and your predecessor wanting to go with that recommendation for a lease over buy at that time. A couple of additional questions. So right now we know the purchase price is roughly around $277,000. And then in the memo you mentioned that there will be additional costs coming. Do we have, or maybe a better question is, when would we have the total all-in cost that includes the upfitting, the technology, licensing, labor, etc.?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Parisian. To get a total cost, including, tech all the way to retrofitting some components, it may take us a few months to get those. We'd certainly be happy to give that total number as we get to it. As called out in your memo, there isn't a number budgeted through your CIP. Certainly no intention of exceeding that. That's, as we go into this again we talk about the supply issues that have happened in the past. Those aren't unique to the past. Sometimes we run into the same similar, and piecing these together do take a little bit more time, so I call that out just by way of not wanting to give you a hard date. But as soon as we're able to complete that assembly, we'd be happy to report back.
Okay, that'd be helpful, thank you. And then probably a similar answer to my next question, but I still think it's worth asking. What do we expect the resale or auction value to be for these new vehicles? And then I think an important piece for the council to consider in the decision-making process is that net capital impact after the auction revenue.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Parisian, another great question. You're spot on. I don't have a hard answer for you here today. In part, those will be offloaded as we're able to take the new vehicles on. Again, we try to find that best point as those values diminish over time. There's certainly, the curve at which it does. Depreciation, happens quickly straight out the door, and then quickly again at a certain point. That second, quick depreciation, we try to avoid that as best we can. You do get reports for vehicles that we do put forward to auction. So again, as soon as we're able to offload those, we'll share what that revenue looks like.
Okay, thank you. And then just in terms of our ongoing policy for fleet replacement, whether it's police vehicles or other city vehicles, what's the replacement policy, and is it based on years in service or mileage, or is there a specific threshold?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Parisian, another great question. Really, it's all the above. Again, different vehicles have different types of usage. So sometimes when we see the mileage, put into your memo here, it can be, why are we getting rid of a vehicle with 55,000 miles? And similarly, why did we hang on to something for 129,000 miles? Some are measured by way of operating hours. So you think in this specific example, these vehicles idle for a long time. Their electronics, run consecutively. We don't want those to shut off or be unfunctional. Thinking in terms of cameras and other mechanisms for capturing that we continue to promote. So in reality, again, your full rolling stock as a part of your CIP. We went through that last year, and we can reshare that document. We went through that with you all in the fall, but those may be paying attention at home or otherwise, we're not able to review that. It really goes through. Now, with that, I do want to call out that comes with some assuming of flexibility. We may see a vehicle have a catastrophic failure just by way of mechanics or electronics or something, just like when you buy a lemon off the lot. So it comes into that, we do maintain insurance for those types of things. Alternatively, sometimes we're able to stretch things out. Some recent major purchases that council supported, including the street sweeper and dump truck, quite candidly, we ran those into the ground. We got as much use out of those, but part of that's knowing those types of vehicles may not have as high of a resale value. It's just such a specialized piece of equipment. So it's not to be coy and not give a direct answer. It's just that you as a council maintain such a rolling stock of, diverse uses. There's no one-for-one answer.
Thank you. I have one more question at the moment, and I believe maybe other council members have additional ones. Is there a life cycle cost comparison between the recommended Tahoes and even one of the 5 to be a hybrid or EV alternative?
Let's see, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Parisian, so I understand correctly, you're asking what a life cycle cost of an EV as a patrol car versus a Tahoe might be?
Yeah, yes.
Again, another good question. I know it's something that we've sourced out in the past. We've had, by way of trying to project that, some trouble, even using data available from other agencies that have explored this, projecting that. A lot of that has to do with the wear and tear and usage is unique to those vehicles, that we've now seen those vehicles in use for a couple, 2-3 years in some areas, so that the resale may be lower. What I would say generally, some of the agencies taking that on have taken them on with the understanding of a value, and what I mean by that is there may be additional cost for operation of that type of vehicle, but the value is such to show whatever the priority may be in a way that it's important that we explore usage of those types of vehicles over what the cost may be. So all to say, we haven't seen evidence of a cost reduction in that type of operation. We'll continue to explore that like we have with other city vehicles. And as we're able to identify some efficient ways to move forward in that capacity, we'll be happy to explore that.
Okay. Yeah, I would be very supportive of exploring hybrid or EV alternatives, particularly for our police fleet. And I know we've done that for other city vehicles. I know that Bloomington added some hybrid SUV police vehicles back in 2022. I think Elk River and Eden Prairie also have EV or hybrids. So I would just like to vocalize my support for continuing to explore that. But for now, those are all of the questions that I have, and I want to say thank you for your openness to answering all of those. A lot of questions came in to my inbox this afternoon, and so I felt it was important to pull this item and provide as much information and context as we can at the moment. But for now, I'll pause if there are other questions from council. Thanks.
I'd be curious to know, Mia, if you don't mind, like, how many questions did you get? I got 3, and I'm just wondering if it's like, if we're each hearing from different folks or if it's the same folks, and I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Sure.
But I would be curious to know the magnitude.
I got 6, and they were all from Ward 3.
Ward 3. All right, cool. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Councilmember Blackledge, did you have something that you wanted to ask as well?
Well, no, I think you did a really great job of answering all the questions that I think I had, and we had the questions furthering as well too, really great. So I appreciate that. I just appreciate the fact that I think it's important for us to have intentional dialogue around that, especially when we have large numbers, so people can hear that. So I just appreciate you going through the process. I know we had a chance to sit in the capital campaign and talk about what that looks like long term. So I know we have a lot more information, and then the information you also wrote up for us as far as like high level but very intentional as far as like the reasons why and how you move forward were very helpful. So thank you for that, and yeah, I hope that this is something that continues to be a conversation in our community. It's like, yeah, how are we spending how are we spending our money, and understanding that. And I said, yeah, the level of thought and putting this together is really helpful. So thank you for that. So I have no further questions, and just want to say thank you for the questions that you have.
Councilmember Casada-Zavanda?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just trying to read through some of like the new requirements, a part of the police package, and then correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. If the new Tahoes that are V8s, I'm like just wondering why we need to upgrade to that when the other Ford Explorers V6 engines are cheaper. I'm like just trying to picture that and wondering if it's part of the police package that makes it so that we need V8 engines in as like a part of the deal.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Aranda. The need, does grow from some of the capacity issues that we talk about. Driving a larger vehicle, the larger engine does provide for that additional performance. Something that may be difficult to measure dollar for dollar. Earlier, we were talking about cost. Is the value to be able to push these vehicles a little bit harder in situations, unfortunately, that police need to exercise in. These do help promote that opportunity. I would note, when we do talk about cost, one thing that we haven't called out specifically, the city continues to utilize what we refer to as the state contract. There are certain individual consortiums, but there are agencies, including dealers and such, that will allocate a certain number of vehicles. So we don't go into them negotiating prices that we sometimes get an opportunity to purchase vehicles at prices that the general public might not. So we utilize those efficiencies there to ensure, what our costs are as we price these out. Candidly, we still also need to be somewhat opportunistic. Again, as these specific dealers or the state contract as a whole allocates X amount of vehicles, we're not the only agency going out and looking for them. So it's as the ones that come up and hit the needs that we're looking for, we move forward in, again, part of the process that we set forward really as part of that CIP to hit all those marks that we've been discussing for months and years to come to the conclusion that this is the recommendation to go forward.
Thank you. Yeah, that was my only question, and then curious to see if other council members have thoughts on this, because I did receive 2 emails from constituents of mine talking about these line items, specifically how we can use some of the funds for temporarily business relief, rental assistance, that kind of thing. So if we're wanting to discuss ways to save some money, maybe it's a thing of having a package that doesn't include 5 Tahoes, maybe 3 Tahoes, and 2 newer Ford Explorers. I think that that's just a way to cut down savings from my perspective, but curious to hear what the rest of the council thinks.
I'll go ahead.
Well, I guess I got a similar email, so I only got 2 emails total about this. One was from someone in my ward, in Ward 2. But essentially the question was around, why don't we not use all of our funds on buying cars and squads and use that money for a community assistance fund or to support the community, which is similar to what you're saying. And I guess my question around that would be, so let's say that we didn't buy these cars, can we use CIP funds to create a community assistance? I mean, to me, those feel like 2 different buckets. Like, I guess my question would be, let's say that we didn't buy these cars now, we didn't buy the Tahoes, would that money be able to be used for community assistance?
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Greenberg, correct me if I'm not understanding correctly. What you're asking is if council were to vote no to this purchase tonight, could we allocate some or all of those funds to a general community assistance fund? Is that? Yeah. At a high level, it'd be difficult to do for a number of reasons. There's the top level public good litmus test, and there are certain mechanisms that you are allowed to allocate funding through that. One of the things we've talked about in recent history, there's a state fund that you as a group have agreed to participate in, LAHA funds, LAHA, that we haven't allocated yet, but we've been talking about utilizing those types of funds for like a specific project, without, dedicating anything directly, talking about workforce housing at the Mai Tai site. A lot of things have to happen for that to go through, and what you as a group have, not committed to full on, but have said we've got this LAHA funding that we want to dedicate towards that. I think, and again, I'm not looking to jump to conclusions, I think there's some assumption seeing other communities are trying these different things through funding mechanisms. One of the things to remember is that we don't have operations by way of Minneapolis or St. Paul to allocate those types of things. So if we wanted to move away from that type of planning into some type of a relief fund, the recommendation would be one of a couple ways. The RETA could consider allocating funding directly to like a PRISM who helps with some type of housing assistance. or otherwise setting something up, and that would take programming and funding, and whether it's staff internally or externally, we would need to build something like that out. So at the moment, we're not ready to do so. That said, I do want to make very clear, if council does not have the appetite to move forward with these, despite the issues that we've highlighted about being down vehicles and being ready to move forward with these to get stock back up, you certainly have that right. So you could vote these down, and we could discuss in subsequent meetings what this funding or other funding could look like.
You have a follow-up question?
Nope. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Tim, I hear you on the purchase of the vehicles. I read through the document you put together. I know we talked a bit about this while we were setting up the budget. I understand the Tahoes are a more expensive vehicle, but I also know that ergonomically, officers spend all day in these vehicles. Sometimes they're running, throughout the day. EV isn't a great out. My wife is in the automotive industry, so I hear a lot about cars, more than I want to, actually. But I know EV is a tough option when it comes to police enforcement, because the batteries get killed in the wintertime. I mean, I own an EV, and my battery just is atrocious right now, and the performance on that. I don't know, like hybrids, I guess, could be an option, but I don't know. I'm supportive as it is because of the work that's been done, and I know there's been a lot of work put into this, and I think about safety, and I think about the one comment that we at one point had just 2 available patrols, which God forbid something happens and we can't get officers to somebody to assist. So I'm open to what council wants to do, but I just wanted to voice my support for what you and Chief Foley put in front of me. I thought it was comprehensive, and I definitely appreciate the answers and the time and the forethought you put into creating this document in anticipation of some of these questions that we're going to get today. So I'll stop there, and I will let council react. Or is there a motion to approve? Go ahead, Councilmember Parisi.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. If the council is interested, I would be willing to make a motion with some with an added condition within that motion related to like upon approval, then giving direction to staff for any future city vehicle acquisition, not just police, but any city vehicle acquisition, that staff would include documented evaluation of hybrid and electric vehicle options, including larger analysis that I can specify in said motion. So if there's appetite for that, I'd be happy to make that motion.
I guess, can I?
Yeah, Councilmember Greenberg.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I just think like we have cars that are electric, we have cars that are hybrid in our fleet. Like we don't have them for police, and I think like did we request like documented evidence previously? I mean, we do have those cars in our fleet, so I don't know that we need to, like if we want to put it in for police vehicle language, I think that's okay, but it's already being accomplished in like the purchases we make. Is that, and maybe I'm misunderstanding, but was that already a requirement that isn't included?
For example, for our item tonight,
Yeah.
that was not included. And that's
Right.
what I'm saying, that for each future vehicle acquisition, that an evaluation is included.
But from my perspective, we're just talking about police right now. And in all the other areas of our purchase, like
So would you be more inclined to support, forgive me for interrupting, would you be more inclined to support if that motion is specific to police?
yeah, because we don't do that today. I'm fine with that. But like we already buy for other parts of the fleet, we have electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles. So I feel like we don't have that for squad cars, so that's a good idea to like definitely consider that.
Okay.
So would this be something we maybe take up and move to a work session if we're gonna, I mean, yes.
Mr. Mayor, council members, if I may, I think to Councilmember Greenberg's point, what staff has applied, especially in recent history, since we're fresh off of it, I will call it out. Your top goals and priorities have highlighted a desire that staff promote sustainability through a variety of mechanisms. One of that has been, while not explicit, rolling stock purchases. So I think to that point, it's correct. Alternatively, or not alternatively, additionally, to Councilmember Parisian's point, if the motion is a desire to have some type of a evaluation of potential of a vehicle that could suit what we're ultimately purchasing, whether it's EV, hybrid, or otherwise, I think that's something that we can do. Just know that it'll take a little bit more work, a little bit more time. But if that's something that the council is desiring, certainly reasonable to do. I just might ask for clarification when we talk about rolling stock, like passenger vehicles. Sometimes if we get into, if you're looking for an EV review for a dump truck, it might be one sentence that says this doesn't exist. But just for a bit of clarification. But all that's to say, staff could certainly do that. That's reasonable.
Okay, thank you.
Tim, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask, I think, an obvious question because it sounds like it doesn't seem like it's a heavy lift, but I know staff's time is finite, right? You guys are unlimited in the amount of hours that you're willing to work in the day, or at least that you can. So do you foresee this being, doesn't seem like you seem willing, you don't see this being a burden?
Mr. Mayor, council, staff serves at the pleasure of the council.
But eventually we got to hire more staff. So.
I think this is something that maybe I understand the spirit of and may take a bit of fleshing out. So to the extent that satisfies what we're looking for, we can explore. I don't have a hard time with that, hard timeline on what that might look like. Different vehicles will be very easy to say, this is why I want to move forward that way. Some will take a real serious analysis, and maybe to the concern of Councilmember Parisian, I certainly don't mean to speak for you, maybe we weren't as in-depth in our report, like for instance when we got the rec van. We talked about that, it was more philosophical. Here's what we're recommending for that purchase. So I think some of that work's being done, it's just capturing it here is more. So I would say we'd be happy to take it on. If long-term we're concerned about, eating up too much time, we'll let you know.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with the concept. I mean, I think having information is good. So, especially given car technology, I love my EV, but the winter does not. So I just can't imagine what that's like on police vehicles. But I know hybrid's a excellent option. So, all right. Well, what are we deciding right now? Where are we?
I think we talked about the approving of it with a special, the note, a special condition as well too moving forward for vehicle purchases that we have a diagnosis of EV, hybrid, and gas vehicles as we move forward. So I think that sums up pretty well.
And does that need to be specific to police vehicle purchases for this item, or does that something that we can cover all vehicle purchases in the future? That's the one part I'm unclear on because of the item on the agenda right now. Yeah, Councilmember Parisian, were you going to say something?
I'm not sure if
Feel free.
Is that related to the point that Councilmember Greenberg and I discussed for focusing the motion only on police vehicles for this item?
Yeah, and we're not going to all vehicles.
I think we're aligned.
Okay, great. Well, if somebody wants to make a motion, we can get out of this part of the agenda.
Sure. I will make a motion to authorize the city manager and finance director to issue a purchase order to North Country at GM of Hibbing, Minnesota for the purchase of 5 Chevrolet Tahoe vehicles for the total amount of $276,909.60 plus license. This approval is conditioned upon direction to staff that for any future police vehicle acquisition, staff include a documented evaluation of hybrid and electric vehicle options, including life cycle cost analysis, operational feasibility, infrastructure requirements, grant eligibility, and environmental impact.
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no or nay. We did it. Okay. Keep it on. Presentations. Women's History Month proclamation.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. So I will just be brief on this one. I know Council likes to get into these a little bit. I want to start by offering my thanks to the staff DEI committee, the commitment that they continue to push out, celebrating these types of proclamations and recognitions throughout the year. They laid out a timeline and strategy for 2026, and this continues that effort. Specifically noting that the 2026 national theme is Leading the Change, Women Shaping a Sustainable Future, recognizes the pivotal role women play in reimagining and rebuilding systems to ensure long-term environmental, economic, and social sustainability. Again, I think as we talk about some of these opportunities, staff is excited to promote, certainly within our organization and through our communications to the community at large, a variety of topics and a variety of items throughout the month. But again, this opportunity really just gives that a starting spot here, especially early in the month, so we can celebrate Women's History Month in March.
Excellent. Council, anything to add? Comments, questions? Yes, Councilmember Parisian.
Thank you. Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Council. I certainly am supportive of this proclamation and want to extend my thanks to staff and the committee for putting this together. And I truly feel that this is so well written that if it's all right with Council, I would like to just directly share a few of the whereas clauses as written. And I'll start with the one that says, whereas women in Robbinsdale have been at the forefront of local progress, serving as educators, small business owners, healthcare providers, civic leaders, and volunteers who have woven the social fabric of our community. And whereas women have been leaders, not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in lead roles for social change, environmental advocacy, and community organizing that create a more fair and just society for all. And whereas, despite these contributions, the role of women in history has been consistently overlooked and undervalued in the past, making the deliberate study and celebration of their achievements essential to a complete understanding of our heritage. And whereas the city of Robbinsdale is proud to honor the trailblazers of the past, uplift the leaders of today, and empower the young women and girls who will shape our future. I thought that was very well written and wanted to take a few moments to read through out loud. I couldn't put it better myself. So I wanted to, again, extend my thanks and support for this.
You're here. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, Councilmember Greenberg.
I just want to say thanks to staff, and I'm absolutely in support of this proclamation.
Excellent. All right.
I will
Please.
then make a motion to approve and adopt the Women's History Month proclamation, March of 2026, declaring Women's History Month in the city of Robbinsdale.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no or nay. It's passed. Excellent. All right. Moving on, no public hearings, no old business, but we do have new business. So item 10A, approve submission of an AARP Community Challenge Grant application.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Calling this item out, you do get a number of grant submissions as part of your consent agenda throughout the year, but calling this out for a couple of reasons. One, going into 2026, Council was very direct in wanting staff to be intentional in efforts towards finding special revenue. Oftentimes, when I say special revenue, I mean grant funding. There are certain groups that we work with, thinking at the federal level, state level, regional level, jurisdictions But sometimes seeking these types of grant funding opportunities are a little bit more challenging. They can get hidden in the weeds or with special groups. But as we continue to utilize connections, not specific to local government units, this is one that came to us well in tandem with a couple other ongoing projects. First, do want to call out a couple years ago again, the Parks Master Plan that the City Council supported and ultimately approved. This was a year-long effort with backing, a lot of community input. And one of the things we talked about was pedestrian-friendly facilities and utilizing in a way that's good for all ages. Combining that with, here in the coming months, you as a council will hear a first review of some of the trail program, or the trail review, the systemic, more holistic view that we've been looking at promoting for long-term planning. You'll have potential for giving input and then certainly updating and approving, like I say, here in the next couple of months. Again, this item came up in tandem with that. So as noted, the AARP Community Challenge is a grant opportunity to make communities more livable for people of all ages, and really looking to promote long-term change specifically. What we're looking to go after is $15,000 to expand the bike rack infrastructure, and we're starting to work to identify those specific locations. Special thanks to Ms. Kurtz and Mr. Basic as they teamed up on this one to get this application in. We're eager to see where this goes, but again, calling it out for the reasons I mentioned. And before approval, staff is certainly happy to respond to any questions, comments, or concerns.
Great, thanks, Tim. Council, any questions, comments, or concerns? Or motions? Yes, Councilmember Parisi.
Just really quickly, I'm so supportive of this, really excited to see us going after some grant funding and specifically for the bike rack infrastructure. I think this is so needed. So should we not only approve this, but also receive grant funding and implement these bike racks, I would just be curious to know where those new bike racks end up when the time happens. I'll be hopeful in the meantime. But that's it for me.
Thank you. Councilmember Blackledge.
Oh, how you see me? That was amazing.
What's that?
You were looking at me. That was impressive.
I see everything. I see everything.
I just want to continue to call out and thank staff for being intentional. I think we talk about money-saving opportunities and ways in which we can find resources and continue to gain support other ways. And I will say that I'm very impressed and very appreciative of how intentional staff is going out for seeking dollars to support our community. And more bike racks are always great. My kids love biking, and as they get older, biking the parks by themselves is a real thing, and it's nice to have a place for them to park their bikes.
Yeah.
Very encouraging. So
Agreed.
thank you.
Agreed.
I'm going to say one quick thing.
Okay. Councilmember Greenberg, you are allowed to say one quick thing.
Okay, cool. So I agree, and thank you both to staff and what fellow council members shared. And also, as it's called out specifically in our memorandum, as someone who recently turned 50, I especially appreciate that this grant is coming from the AARP. It benefits everyone, but it's specifically designed, or especially for those age 50 and older. So I want to make a special call out to that.
Congrats.
Thanks. I made it.
Yeah, you did it. All right. Any other comments or motions?
I will make a motion to approve the submission of an AARP Community Challenge grant application.
And I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no or nay. All right.
I thought that was appropriate.
Approved. All right. Other business. It's spring. The warm weather has gotten up. We're a little squirrely. Other business. Voucher request pending approval for disbursements.
I will make a motion
Okay.
to approve the voucher request.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no or nay. All right. Approved. Administrator reports.
Nothing from me this evening. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Council, a few quick updates from me. Want to offer my thanks. I know Council will get into this as well, but offer my thanks to all who attended the town hall last week. I would start with sharing out, I was very inspired. The stories of mutual aid are sort of pieces that I've heard kind of along the way, but to really hear I don't want to say the culmination, but to that point, the culmination of work that has been done and continues to be done, inspired by Robbinsdale residents and businesses stepping up really to support their neighbors. Those actionable items mean so much, and continue to work with folks to see how we can, either as an EDA or a city, both utilize our resources to extend those efforts or expand those efforts. I know our PD and recreation crews have been jumping in a few areas, so continue to look for more conversations on those types of steps. I want to offer my thanks also to the City Council and staff leadership. We hosted our goal-setting session here last Thursday. Here, hopefully, in the next couple of days, we'll get a draft review, and then in the coming weeks, get in front of council. This is a good opportunity to be grounded, sit in a room together, maybe even have a couple laughs together. And it was nice to sit and remind ourselves that we all have the shared goal of serving the community of Robbinsdale. I do want to note out that some legislative updates, while a bit of a slow start, we're starting to watch some committee hearings, especially those that are pertinent to the city. Staff may be attending some throughout as we go. Your city clerk and myself will be over at the Capitol next week for League of Minnesota Cities Day on the Hill. Those types of opportunities will continue to connect with our folks and promote the legislative priorities that you as a council have supported. Want to remind folks, if they haven't, watch for, or if they haven't already received it, watch for the Spring Summer Rec Catalog. Certainly hit people this week. Sounds like some have been mailed. Certainly, as we talk about a sign in spring, that's one. And as a park and rec guy, that I get excited when that lands on my mailbox. So watch for that if you haven't already got it. And then as we head into the next couple of weeks, just want to share out a bit of forecasting. The City Council will discuss a bit more on a separation ordinance next week at the work session. Staff is going to, make clear we need some clarification on some operational expectations, those types of things. But really, for that second reading scheduled for the 17th, or otherwise have a path forward as we go. So really looking for that clarity, but we also have items that we need to spend some time on. So just calling out as we continue to go forward. Some things to review include some LRT updates. Staff is going to present some of the some items related to the City Hall turf project update. You'll recall this is a recommendation from your sustainability committee, and staff is starting to explore ways to get that project up and running. One things that we might be looking for some updates on your rules of decorum and your remote attendance policy. Council members have had some questions as we go. Want to make sure that everybody's in the room for those, but just so we're on the same page, both in spirit and with language. And then we'll have a potential second cannabis license conditional approval that will come before you. And then finally, I did mention this earlier, when we talk about funding and wanting to be flexible and responsive to community needs. We will queue up some kind of informational items for the RETA with the LAHA funding. We'll share out kind of where we stand, what qualifies, what doesn't, just to sort of clarify, maybe promote some better understanding. What I would encourage council to do if you're getting direct questions, sort of you're spending money on this but not on that, sometimes there's maybe rules or regulations that we just don't talk about this enough, that if it's helpful to bring myself or others into the conversation to help kind of clarify, really so people understand kind of the process to move those things forward and encourage them to participate in those conversations as we have them. I'm more than happy to do so. Just sharing that as a reminder and a bit of forecasting. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Tim. You've been a tremendous resource for me as those questions have come in. So thank you for that. And thank you for the reminder. Okay, on to council general communications. Anybody got anything that they'd like to mention?
Yeah, I can jump in. Yep.
Gotcha. All right.
Skilled. Yeah, one thing, like I said, as we're transitioning in the spring, like I said, slowly but surely, just recognize like neighbors and people are out and about. I have heard a number of people just driving a little faster down some of the streets. So just be cognizant of your neighbors and where people are at. Also, another thing that I think we kind of brought up a little bit the last conversation was potentially looking at doing our meetings, our work sessions, and having those streamed or something of that capacity recorded. And so just recognizing that, let's have a conversation about that. We'll love to be in the next work session. I know our work session next week's pretty packed. with some very significant and very important topics. And so just want to make sure that doesn't fall off the radar, and that as a council, we're okay with maybe continuing to pursue that conversation, let's have a dialogue around that. So I think Tim by head nods is kind of what you're looking for. Okay, cool. So I appreciate that. And then, yeah, just more importantly, I think I just want to raise an appreciation for the conversation that we had earlier around police vehicles, but not only police vehicles, but like how can we be as intentional as far as communication and providing information for our community as we can for the reasons why. And I really appreciate you stepping into that and offering and providing some tangible ways in which we can think about that. And I think it's moving forward, how does that continue to be a process, and knowing that this is what we're here for. And so I think we all receive emails of whatever variety, but recognizing, we listen, and we just have a really great team of city people who work here for us and supporting us. So just know that those things do not fall off to the wayside, and we're listening. So thank you, council, and that's all I got.
All right. All right, yeah, Councilmember Greenberg.
Yeah, so I want to thank everyone who came to the town hall and just the discussion and the conversations, and especially the attention to people who are in our community, helping our community, which is really important. And, you know, as a council member, want to work in ways to support that. Secondly, I want to call out, we've got a new restaurant opening in Robbinsdale on March 9th, coming up on Monday. It's Risata Cucina. We're really excited to have them. It's modern Italian cuisine, so I think they're taking reservations, but we should definitely support them in all of our restaurants and businesses downtown. And then the last thing I want to just call out in honor of Women's History Month. Earlier this year, I went to see a poetry reading by Layli Long Soldier, who is a poet, and it kind of has this nice confluence of when we do our proclamations, there are all these whereas clauses in them, and her she's most well known for a collection of poetry called Whereas, which just talks about the Native experience and the apology from the Obama administration with all of its whereas clauses. So bringing attention to a woman writer who I think is really great, but also kind of in tandem with the proclamation that we made as well. So wanted to give that attention as well for Women's History Month.
Thank you, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Councilmember, I'm going to go with you, Councilmember Caceres Aranda.
Thank you, Mayor. Just in terms of updates, tomorrow will be officially a month since I've got sworn in. So just thank you to staff, council, for just a super smooth transition. I've learned a lot in the last month, so.
You know everything you need to know?
Yeah, it's definitely something that they don't teach you grad school anywhere. Really, this is just one of a kind. So thank you again. And then, to Tim's point on legislative updates, I've been monitoring closely, things moving there, whether it's rental assistance bill. This is something that's really been pushed forward by Minneapolis City Council. It's stalled in the House. Doesn't mean that it's dead, but things are just moving very slow. And given the budget situation, it's not looking well, although the budget forecast was released last Friday, and it's looking better, I will say. So I'll just be monitoring things to see if there's anything they're worthwhile updating you guys on. And then Governor Walz did announce 3 weeks back a relief package for small businesses, which I've been trying to closely monitor. I think as session goes on, they're going to try to see what's doable, and if there's enough money to be spent at the end of session, that these things may just move super quickly. So once first and second deadline get through, I'll be on the keeping an eye out for that. So just wanted to provide that update. And then also huge shout out to staff and city council for a productive town hall meeting last week. I think I got so many follow-up emails afterwards, folks from my ward that I hadn't even met before. Just saying, thank you for holding that space and making me feel safe in that space. So just kudos to all of you. And then, yeah, looking forward to the work session next week. And I am not going to be there, actually, unfortunately, but I already had conversation with Tim. I'll provide some key bullet points, line items for you folks to review. But yeah, just that's it for me. Thank you, Council.
Councilmember Parisian.
Thank you. Thanks, council, staff. I also want to acknowledge the wonderful turnout at the town hall last week, and I agree with what's been shared so far. I think it was really inspiring. It was very important. It is by no means the end of the ongoing conversations that we get to have together. And with that in mind, I would love to start thinking about the next opportunity for a town hall, either in the spring or early summer. And then also extend my request to staff to check in with RPD and their availability and willingness to attend. And this last town hall, we had to plan it super, super quickly. But now we have the foresight to include RPD in that scheduling. So I look forward to hearing about their availability. And then the final thing is I just wanted to echo my support for the conversation Raymond Blackledge had mentioned about the work session, accessibility, and virtual, holding that discussion. I know we talked about it briefly, but I'm supportive of continuing that conversation. And that's it for me.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Parisian. Yeah, I will round it out. Great to see the engagement in the town hall last week. Feels like it was 2 weeks ago already. And just don't let that be the end of the engagement, please. There's a lot going on in the city, and your voices matter. And you can move things that you probably didn't think you could move when you show up and you address council and you put it in front of us. By the way, Alejandro, thank you for the update at the Capitol. It's great having an inside guy.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so that's just fantastic. I'll look for more of that in the future. Regarding speeding, I did get a couple of, I did see at least online comments about speeding. So for those that are listening, you know, if you're seeing excessive speeding in your neighborhood, that's another thing too that you can put on our radar, and we can work with RPD to set something up to try to control things a bit. I mean, we can't be everywhere at once, I know, but earlier, I shouldn't say earlier, it was early winter, a resident had reached out to me over email, and I connected with Chief and Captain Elder, and it was regarding speeding around 36th, and they coordinated with 5 different agencies to set up an operation to control speeding and show up and pull people over, give them warnings, give them tickets if it was egregious enough. So, like, that stuff can happen. So, put it on our radar. Also, finally, I'm just going to say, you know, I know we've got residents who've got family and sons and daughters who are in the military, and there's a pretty significant thing happening right now with the Iranian war, and I just wanted to say that my thoughts and my prayers are with those families who have service members who are serving and all who are over there, and definitely my condolences to those that have lost their family members. So hopefully this comes to a swift end and this isn't prolonged, but you know, I just didn't want to let the day go without acknowledging that. And I know we've got some residents here who've got family members in the military. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Meeting adjourned.